Hello, welcome back to the TCAP commentary. So today we're gonna do Lorne Armstrong. Okay, so we are back here. Okay, Lorne Armstrong, one of the greatest of TCAP, right? And I know somehow, some way, it feels to me like the TCAP community has turned against Lorne Armstrong, man, and don't think that he's one of the greatest ones. I won't say the best one because I obviously have my own personal, my personal favorite TCAP, right? Predator, but for the most part, Lorne Armstrong is very popular. But anyway, we're just rewatching him. It's Monday. I'm lying, it's not, but we'll get to in a minute, right? But anyway, let's just get started. If you like To Catch a Predator, check out the channel. I have a lot of videos surrounding To Catch a Predator, including police interrogations. It'll be very fun. Check those out, and let's just get started, man.
Casey's trying to make sure he can see you.
In a few minutes, our next potential predator will probably be thinking he too should have stayed away.
Should have
Okay,
stayed
his name's
away.
Lorne, L-O-R, and you're Kayla.
God,
You should have condoms, pizza, bracelet,
oh,
and a can.
man.
Hey, I'm glad you could come.
Hey! Oh my god, man. The beginning of something special, right? The Lord, oh my god, the Lorne Armstrong intro. Hey girl, is so good. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Lorne Armstrong. I know he's like super duper popular, right? I know a lot of people, they are obsessed with him. I'm not one of those people, but 100% I can recognize whenever the a certain predator is goated. But I was gonna mention, like, none of these people in this room, right? This room in specific knew who they were catching, right? One of the most notorious predators in all the series, right? In the last episode of To Catch a Predator, it's kind of ironic if you think about
you're
it.
Kayla. You should have condoms,
Kayla.
pizza, bracelet, and a can.
A can. He has nothing,
Hey, I'm
man.
glad you could come.
Hey,
How are
girl.
you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Turns out
How's
today
that?
is his birthday.
Turns out.
37-year-old Lorne Armstrong.
Terrible.
Construction
Really?
worker.
How
He's been
come?
chatting with a girl posing as a 13-year-old for more than a month. It's one of the longest chat logs we've ever seen. 407 pages. Using the screen name Lorne A20014, he tells her how to masturbate and then asks her if she wants to see him naked. She agrees, and he turns on his webcam.
Mr.
He wants her
Penis,
to
man.
look at his penis.
Oh, God.
Would you like to see it up close so you can get a
You
better look at it?
Oh my gosh. I guess
I
if you want to show
guess.
me.
After chatting with the Decoy,
Oh man, look at this man, right? In every sense of the word. Lorne Armstrong maybe 20 years, 30 years in the past. Lorne Armstrong with his like weenie out, man. Oh, absolute hood classic. Not a lot of people know this, right? But I have this exact picture hung up on my wall. I have this picture framed on in my damn room, right? Whenever I have visitors, they always question what the flip is at your wall. I'll be like, man, you just don't get it, man. You're just not in the loop, man. You guys need to check out To Catch a Predator. Then you would know. But
look at his penis.
Would you like to see it up
Talking
close
nonsense.
so you can get a better look at it?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I guess if you want to show me.
After chatting with the Decoy, posing as a 13-year-old for just
K1.
6 days, he expresses his deep love for
My
her.
precious.
I wish I could marry you right now because I would do it.
What an
That's how
idiot.
special you are to me, and that's how much I love you.
But he clearly knows what he's doing is wrong, telling her to
Wrong.
delete all evidence of their chat log.
Okay, delete your archives and remember, Mrs. Kayla Marie Armstrong, I love you more than anything.
He was so excited to be here.
Oh God, man! I'm geeked. I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen. So, I did say it was Monday. I'm lying. Okay, it is Thursday. It's Thursday, the 19th. What is it? June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Is that the right? I'm just gonna stop talking anyway. I 100% took the week off after I uploaded the Bethpage investigation. I was just so over it. It felt like essentially every single night, before an upload, I would be staying up up until maybe 7 or 8 in the morning and not catching a single ounce of sleep until it was maybe, like I said, 8 or 7. So it eventually got tiring after doing that for almost like 2.5 weeks. So I just decided to, you know what, maybe I shouldn't, you know, be what do you call it, rushing, right, and staying up just to get a video out every single day. So, you know, I just kind of took a little break, right? I mean, you guys are fine.
Lorne Armstrong.
Fine. I'm back.
I love you more than
guess.
anything.
He was so excited to be here.
So excited.
And he came walking in very proud, very excited.
Look, we got these new chairs. You
Got
have
these
to
new
sit down.
chairs.
Yeah, look. It's a massage chair.
God,
It vibrates
look at
when you press the buttons.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Yeah, flip the switches.
Which one is it?
You can use either one of them. It tells
Use
you.
one of
there's
the
for
buttons,
your
please.
butt,
Okay, like first of all, you know, I didn't notice this whenever I first watched this. I think I've watched this 2 times, but technically the first video that I made on this isn't like available on the channel anymore. But I'm not sure. Regardless, though, like look at this bottom right one right quick.
Yeah, look. It's a massage chair.
Like look how close he gets to Casey. Like, yes, not like actually no. I'll take it back before I even say it. There were some people who lunged at Lacey, at Casey this one sting house, which I don't know. I mean, it must have been after after Lorne at least, because he got really close. Like, imagine he just like faked out the going to sit down. And he just like takes a ride and just like grabs her by the neck, man. Oh, Casey, right? You're in the danger. You're in the splash zone right here, right? You need to take maybe a step back or something. But luckily, Lorne Armstrong. He's not really that scary. I'm not gonna lie, right? Not to say he could have beat me up, right? I don't know, man. He's like what 5'5". I'm like a 1'2", right? It's just not gonna work, right? The match is not gonna work.
Chair.
Oh,
It vibrates when you
Fucking
press the
nonsense.
Look, oh my god.
buttons. Yeah, flip the switches.
Which one is it?
Feel the switches.
You can use either one of them. It tells you there's one for your butt, there's one for your lower back, and there's one for your upper back.
ass.
I just felt my butt.
My butt.
Dang.
I think.
You can pretty much tell a difference when you press them.
Holy. Yep, that's
Holy.
That
my
feels so good,
Holy
right?
moly.
I thought you had blonde hair.
Blonde.
You like it? I dyed it by myself.
I think it's pretty.
Thank you.
It's very pretty.
Oh god, man! Like, look, this video is gonna be probably longer than usual, but it's just the fact that he's saying that to someone who's 13 years of age, man. Like, oh god. Sometimes I just forget, because I've also haven't watched To Catch a Predator in almost a week now. Especially with the schedule I was putting out. Videos, right? Like 3 videos a week. I was watching To Catch a Predator pretty often, but taking a break every once in a while just lets me, reset. Right?
Holy. Yep,
He's
that's
like,
That
my
feels
oh,
so good,
it's
right?
pretty, really pretty. You're saying that
thought you
to
had blonde
a
hair.
child,
You
bro.
like it? I dyed it by
I think
myself.
it's pretty.
Thank
I
you.
think it's
It's
pretty.
very pretty.
I mean, look, you can compliment, I guess a little girl's hair, but like that's also just kind of weird.
Where's
Oh
the
my
pizza?
God.
I was
Oh my
waiting to eat
God.
because I thought you were bringing some.
Bring
I
your
want to bring
pizza.
you pizza.
You beat
Well,
you.
weren't you gonna bring me something?
Well, yes,
No.
I was. And I did.
Did you bring me
This guy,
condoms?
man.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
Where
I
are
did.
they?
Out in the truck.
Well, what good are they gonna do in the truck if we're in here?
Well,
Oh, well.
yell at me, why don't you? I haven't had a kiss yet.
Oh my god, man, this guy is off the rails and off of the wall, right? Oh god, I keep backing it up, but to be fair, this interaction is legendary. Like, you have to admit, like, I'm obviously not gonna try to make a case for why Lorne's I almost said investigation, a sting part, his segment is infamous, right? Like, Lorne Armstrong is one of the most goofiest predators ever caught. Like, beyond him having one of the longest chat logs ever seen, right, by NBC, whatever Chris said, right, 400 and something pages is ridiculous. Like, maybe I've texted with people like throughout like a year or even less. I'll give it a couple months. You can pile up that amount of text and stuff or whatever, but that is a lot, especially whenever like in this atmosphere or this ecosystem, right, of predators. Like, a conversation can span maybe 30 minutes to like a week, right? This seems like Lorne Armstrong. I'm pretty sure he had like this relationship with this girl for like what, a month and a half, like ish. Let me know if you want me to read the entire Lorne Armstrong chat log, by the way, because I just got hit with that idea. I think it'd be interesting. It would definitely have to spend a couple of days. I might have to just like lock in for like an hour each day until I finish, right? Like by the end of it, I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, this is day 25, right, or whatever. But
Did you bring any condoms?
Yes, I did.
Where are they?
Out in the truck.
Well, what good are they going to do in the truck if we're in here?
Well, yell at me, why don't you? I haven't had a kiss yet.
Disgusting, man.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
then what did you want to do?
Well, I want to kiss first.
I want to kiss first.
And then what?
Can I have a kiss first?
Well,
Let's talk
first.
about
We
it.
just got
Okay.
here.
Would you like me to go out in the truck and get my stuff?
No, it's all right.
No? You don't want your thing right now? Present I gave you?
You're breathing
what
on
is
me.
it?
Well, I can't tell you. That wouldn't be much of a present if I told you.
Well, you can go get it in a little bit or something, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit, not as bad as you thought you would be.
It's crazy. I'm pausing a lot, but it's crazy these two are in the same, well, in theory, the same boat sexually, man. Like, both of them have no clue what the hell to do, right, if they were to start boning, right? Sorry for the graphic language, right? Oh, God, forgive me. But, like, Lorne Armstrong is what, like, on his birthday, I forgot completely. You know, he's, like, what, in his mid-40s or maybe, like, generous early 30s. Oh, no, like, late 30s. You know, I mean, you get the damn point I'm trying to make. He hasn't felt the touch of a woman, man. So they're both in the same boat. I
Not
guess.
as bad, but I still am
Not
kind of nervous.
as
I'd rather,
bad.
like, talk it.
A little bit, not as bad as you thought you would be.
Not as bad, but I still am kind of nervous. I'd rather, like, talk a little bit first and then, like, so I'm more comfortable, you know?
That's like cool.
Cool.
I'm really glad.
That's like cool.
I like seeing you in person.
Yeah, I like seeing you too.
Ew.
Good.
So,
This is getting hot. How come?
oh,
It's
because
it's
that's
burning my
because, like,
ass, right? My ass. God, the Lord Armstrong. What a
it's like
silly
there,
guy.
too.
You gonna have a seat too?
I
just
like
like
to sit on the
seeing-
extra chairs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Educated.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
All right. How are you doing?
What's happening?
Not too much.
Not too much. You a Boston fan?
Oh, God. I'm Boston.
Yeah, actually, I don't even watch baseball.
Oh, but it's a Boston cap.
It's a Boston Cap, yeah.
Cap.
So what are you up to tonight?
Not a whole
Tonight.
lot.
Not a whole lot?
No.
Man, what a certified hood classic, man. An absolute banger, dare I say, man. You know, not a whole lot, man. Oh, I still say that to this day, man. It's been maybe 50 years since this was filmed, man. Back in the day, you know, they filmed this using like rocks and stuff, man. Even 50 years in the future, there are still some guys, right, that are still using some of these banger lines, man. And I'm one of those guys, right?
I don't even watch baseball.
No, but it's a Boston cap.
It's a Boston Cap, yeah.
Yeah.
No cat.
So what are you up to tonight?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I tell you, for the last several days, you've been up to a lot. You're a
lot.
pretty prolific chatter there. Want to explain yourself?
This is so awkward.
Not really. I never really was gonna do anything.
You weren't really going to do anything.
No.
So you brought condoms. What else did you bring?
I brought her a bracelet.
A bracelet. And her, and she is how old?
She's supposed to be 13.
Supposed to be 30.
You know, instead of buying that dumb bracelet, by the way, Laura should have bet the damn girl, by the way. She asked for that pizza first. It wasn't like, oh, Lorne Armstrong, where's my present? No, she was like, man, I haven't a jack for the past couple of hours, right? Like, she should have instead fed the girl, man. Imagine if Lauren actually brought a pizza to the Stinghouse. How different would that have been, right? It's almost like the idea of, like, moving, like, a chair, like, an inch to the right, and it, like, creates, like, an entire different timeline. Like, I don't know, maybe Lorne Armstrong would have, like, I don't know, tripped on the box of pizza, like, he would have dropped it rolled over it and snapped his neck on the damn chair or something, right? But we would never know, right? Because that's not the reality we have. So it would have been interesting to know if that would have been another aspect of Lorne Armstrong's identity, is like the pizza he brought. Watching that, be like, oh, I brought, I don't know, spinach pizza. That was it. Like, nothing else on it. Ridiculous, man. And if you like spinach on your pizza, man, might as well unsubscribe now, man. I'm never gonna harbor a damn spinach eater, man. Spinach eater, man. I don't know why I started talking to people who eat spinach on pizza. I'm sorry, by the way, because I don't think it's that bad. What the hell? Prolific.
Want to explain yourself?
He looks so worried,
Not
by the
really.
like, extremely worried.
Really was gonna do anything.
You weren't really going to do anything.
No.
So you brought condoms. What else did you bring?
I brought her a bracelet.
A bracelet.
A bracelet.
And her. And she is how old?
She's supposed to be 13.
Supposed to be 13. And how old are you?
37.
37.
37?
You have kids?
Today is so depressing. I mean, I guess I was right when I said late 30s, but also said early 40s. But to be, who the hell cares? Let's just be honest. Let's just move on.
37.
37.
Today.
You have kids?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I got nieces though.
Nieces.
Yeah, think the world of.
Yeah, you talk about your nieces
might
in the chat here.
Think too much, right?
And you talk about how you like to spoil the nieces and how you would like to spoil this 13-year-old girl like you spoil your nieces.
Yeah.
Is this the way you spoil young women?
No.
Now, what's your name?
This is what I was afraid of.
What were you afraid of?
Stupid mole.
Just the fact that his voice is trembling just adds to it, man. It feels like I'm there, right? It feels like I'm in this box right here, whatever this is or whatever that is. Like, I don't know, I'm in here right now just listening to every single thing that Lorne is saying, right? Or I'm in the back with Ron Knight. I don't know, man. Who knows?
This is what I was afraid of.
What were you afraid of?
Stupid mole.
What were you afraid of?
Just because she was in what I was.
Hear that again, man. This is what I was afraid of, man. Oh, God. It feels like he's about to get shot, right?
This is what I was afraid of.
What were you afraid of?
Stupid mole.
What were you afraid of?
Just because she was a nice girl. And
she was a nice girl. You still haven't told me your name, though.
It's Lorne.
Lorne what?
Armstrong.
And where do you live, Lorne?
In Nashville now.
Nashville. What do you do in Nashville?
Actually, I work at a construction company.
And what do you build?
I just started that last week.
I'm just making sure I'm recording. After what happened last time, best believe I'm on my most vigilant of behavior, by the way. Christ on a bike, right? And it is, yes. Okay, the screen is recording, by the way. I don't want to hear nothing from OBS.
Right now, building a gym for a church.
A gym for a church.
A church? Are you a religious man?
Is that a good job?
Yeah.
Got paid?
Now,
okay,
besides all this chat here, and we'll go through that in a minute, you also sent a whole bunch of pictures.
You sent your blank.
Now, why would you think that's appropriate?
Oh, God.
It's not.
It's not.
Turn it up.
Those are all your pictures, right?
You know, he's over here moving like whenever I got a bad grade in my almost said school my school class, right? Whenever my teacher hands me my paper and I got a damn 3 or something on him, and that's how he's moving with the paper. He's like, oh, turn it upside down. I don't want them to know. Right?
Is that all you do in your spare time?
No.
Oh, God, man.
You ever get in trouble like this before?
No, I've never done this before.
You've never done it before?
Ever.
Have you ever met anybody in person who you first met online in a chat room?
No.
This is the first time?
You know...
So what made you, all of a sudden, for the first time, get online, chat up a 13-year-old girl, and drive up from Nashville to meet her for sex?
No, I didn't.
Lorne.
Don't lie to me, right? I'll kill you. No. I was going to say, I wonder how his life would have turned out if he had met that one woman that he was messaging, I say woman, quotations, because it's up in the air, right? His sister said that like the woman he was messaging with, like for what, like a little under a year or 2 years, it could be, you know, a couple of months or a couple of years, but essentially his sister said that she was fake, that it wasn't like a woman or whatever. It doesn't matter, regardless. Beyond those details, I wonder what would have happened if he would have met that person and maybe he gotten scammed or whatever, or maybe he met the person and it was, you know, just as he had envisioned, right? Every single thing matched up. He would have never been publicized like this, which is like, I'm over here thinking about alternate realities over here. Like, what am I on about, man? I guess I just need my brain to be stimulated right now. I don't need Lorne Armstrong to essentially just tell me this was what I was afraid of. Like, I don't care, Lorne. Why am I
up
here?
from Nashville to meet her for sex.
No, I didn't.
Lorne. You send her naked photos.
Lorne.
You have an explicit conversation. And you bring condoms.
Condoms.
What does that add up to?
I know.
Good, man. A Boston cap. You know, it would have been so funny if Lorne Armstrong sold his fit that he showed up in. By the way, Lorne Armstrong, if you're watching, man, if you still have this damn Boston cap, man, I'll buy it for you. Buy it from you for a reasonable price, man. Like, imagine if I owned the damn hat that Lorne Armstrong brought to this thing house. That is legendary, man. Obviously, the damn chances of me finding this hat or even contact... Actually, no, I could probably contact Lorne a lot more than I could ever probably find this hat from him to begin with. But contacting Lorne Armstrong probably isn't super duper difficult. Like, I could probably do it, but I'm not gonna try to talk to Lorne Armstrong. Like, what the hell? Honestly, he's had enough torment in his life. I'll let him go, man. No more.
At first, you seem like the good Samaritan
of Nashville.
The protector. Don't tell me your last name. Don't ever tell anyone from the internet your last name, okay? Okay, why? Because there are some real weirdos on here.
Yeah,
sometimes, and they might try to go looking for you. So don't ever tell them your last name, your address, your phone number, the town you live in, or the school you go to. You're one of those weirdos.
You know, it really felt like Chris was trying to clip farm here, right? Like, you're one of those weirdos. Be quiet, man.
I mean, was that some kind of a ruse to gain her trust?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. So how did it go from, hey, be careful, don't give anybody your last name, to, hi, here's some naked pictures of myself and I'm coming over with condoms?
Here's my pee-pee.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you must know something.
I mean, it's not that difficult to understand.
I don't know why.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know why you did it. Well, I think I know why you did it. You did it because you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
No. I mean, yeah.
I don't think that.
No, what?
I don't think that was it.
You don't think it was it? Well, why don't you help me out? Why don't you tell me what it was?
Because I wasted 5 years of my life on the internet talking to girls that gained my trust, and she seemed like somebody I could trust.
You could trust. So when you say you spent 5 years on the internet, what, getting taken advantage of by women? In what way?
In every way.
In every
instance.
way. Yeah, this turned to a therapy session for him, kind of, because he I don't think he ever told anyone this. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he must have had this thought, like, in the back of his mind, like, for a while. Like, let's say, you know, ever since that whole situation with, I forgot her name. I don't know if he says her name or anything, but regardless, let's just call her the catfish in Lorne's life. If that happened multiple times, who could Lorne really tell about that? Like, I guess other people online, but maybe this is the first time he's ever saying it to someone else, like vocally, and then someone specifically in front of him. You know, like, maybe I like to imagine that Lorne doesn't really talk about that much because it's probably embarrassing for him to, you know, try to chase let's just say love through the internet and just never working out, it's probably something he wouldn't mention to begin with.
In every way.
In every way.
Instance.
I was over in Washington State.
See if I can get some water.
That's when I started going on the internet.
When you lived in Washington State, you started going on the internet, and what happened?
I met a girl. She said her name was Amanda James, and
Amanda, yeah.
she told me that. And that her daughter was her niece, and that she was watching her niece. Well, she was actually had custody of her niece.
And then?
And then?
3 years later, I moved back to Maine just to be close to her because she lived in Pennsylvania. And I didn't date anyone. I didn't see anyone because of her.
All right, so what happened?
I got back to Maine and I was talking to her on the phone.
You know, we all know that talking to Lorne is like pulling teeth, especially here in this, showcase or this instance. But not just that. He says it at like he had a chance to talk or like conversate or date people whenever he was dating Amanda James, right? Or whatever. And no one would have dated Lorne to begin with. Maybe I'm overstating, the amount of dislike that people would have for him. But at the same time, being 36, 37, and still not being in any form of sexual relationship at all is kind of telling. But
phone and
yeah,
she my sister wanted to say hi to her, and my sister had been on the internet for a couple of years, and she was able to read people pretty good.
And what happened?
She got on the phone with her, and she after she got off the phone, she was only on the phone with her for about 2 minutes, and she got off the phone with her and told me that she wasn't real.
She wasn't real.
She told me she was lying to me, and she'd been lying to me all along.
Did you ever meet this woman? Did you send her money?
I sent her money. I sent her all kinds of Dale Earnhardt things.
Dale Earnhardt things.
Dale
The
Earnhardt
NASCAR
Jr. things.
driver.
She was Dale.
The race car driver.
Yeah.
right.
And so because you got taken advantage by a couple of women on the internet, you thought it was okay to take advantage of a 13-year-old girl on the internet.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Unironically, that does check out. I mean, look, people who have been abused, and not to really look. I'm not gonna label everyone, but this is a common thing amongst abusers. I'm gonna point that out. People who abuse people have been abused before, so 100% that could have been this instance, because I'm pretty sure, when I used to be a lot more in tune with the Lorne Armstrong thing, because I was like kind of studying it, because I did a deep dive on him like a long time ago. I had learned that he essentially did have very manipulative behavior in the text with Kayla, right? Kayla, yes. And it really could have. I'm pretty sure that's how it played out. Is that essentially after him being damn near thrown through the ringer by these fake women or whatever, he essentially was like, screw this, no more play, Mr. Nice Lorne Armstrong, man. I'm gonna turn it to evil Lorne Armstrong, man. And I guess, try to solicit a 13-year-old girl online, right? But yeah, it's crazy. I truly wonder what his sister learned from the phone call that made her think, hey, by the way, you're being scammed, Lorne Armstrong. It was probably either a voice changer, trying to change voice, it was a guy or whatever. But it would have been cool to know. Maybe the TCAP community has already found out the reasons, how the hell that happened, but I don't think it was a really important... Actually, no, it was an important aspect of his life, definitely the Amanda thing, but I don't think how his sister found out that he was being lied to is important.
Yeah.
And so because you got taken advantage by a couple of women on the internet, you thought it was okay to take advantage of a 13-year-old girl on the internet.
No, I didn't.
You did?
Yeah.
No.
I'm very happy that you talked to me before talking to anyone else, though. This way,
man.
you'll be safe.
That's crazy.
That's what I meant too. And I don't know how.
You don't know how what?
I don't know how it lead to this.
Well, here, let me take you down the road. This is how it
Got
went.
memory
Start
lane,
with
man.
this, and then it goes to. This is as thick as a telephone book, by the way.
It has a
chat.
telephone book.
You start chatting with her when?
Back in the day,
Last
man. Didn't they make those back in like the 1940s or something? I don't know.
month. So you've been chatting with this young woman for a month.
Young woman is a little bit of a stretch, but I
So
get
it
what
starts
he's
with you
saying.
being
Young
the protective
lady.
older brother type, and you flip through dozens and dozens of pages here, and ultimately, it builds into a very sexually explicit conversation, right? I wish I were sticking it in you right now.
Holy crap! Sorry, I like yawned in between that, but
I
that
wish I were sticking it in you right now.
like, how the hell does Chris find these segments in these chat logs? Like maybe he highlights them, right? It seems like a reasonable thing to do, but he has to flip through so many pages. Like they said in the intro, 400 pages is not like you're gonna land on the damn page that you want, right? So I could just imagine the lines that he left out. Like, that is a crazy line to land on. You know, almost, I want to say first try, but pretty close to it. Oh,
You tell her
man.
to delete her archives after we stop talking again, okay? Why did you want her to delete her archives?
You know, it hasn't said much, but I was just having this thought. Like, in the last episode of To Catch a Predator, like, it's... bear with me, because I'm trying to formulate what I'm trying to say. Like, thinking about the last episode, I come to realize and kind of put a little bit of thought into the idea of essentially you being put on TV without your consent at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't feel for these guys. Obviously, they deserve to be like publicized and put on TV for the crap that they've done. But the idea of them essentially just being thrown on TV is kind of insane to really think about. Like, they came to his house like without the idea, right? I don't think Lorne had ever seen To Catch a Predator. I think he got asked at a certain point, but no. He did get asked, obviously, by Chris, but he said no, I'm pretty sure. But the idea that essentially he, in no, capacity in his brain would he have thought that he would have ended up on TV, let alone be harassed, essentially for life for this. It's just such a crazy thought to have that essentially the actions that he had over a month led to him being put on television without his permission, and obviously no permission needed. But it's just a crazy line of thinking. Like imagine you are like at a concert, right, and you're being like someone near you is getting interviewed by somebody, and you're seen in the background. Like, you have no power or say, with your, I guess, image being published online. And it's kind of the same idea here. It's like you wouldn't want to maybe show up on that, but for these people, they have no say in it at all, which is kind of funny.
Help me out.
Help me out.
I
You didn't want to get in trouble.
I didn't want her to get in trouble by her parents.
And this goes on and on and on.
On and on and on. And the idea that maybe they had like other predators on the way is also interesting. Like, I'm sure
Do you
with
think
Chris,
naughty thoughts about me before?
hold the phone, Chris. By the way, it's rude to interrupt someone when they're talking. But anyway, I was going to say, like, with Chris sitting here knowing the entire operation that's happening, I'm sure he's conscious about how long he's taking, because a predator could be around the corner any damn minute, right? But it's interesting to know that they stuck around for a lot longer than I would have thought they did. Because this video is 17 minutes long. But yeah, crazy thought, I guess.
Do you think naughty thoughts about me before you go to sleep?
Thoughts of me. So nasty, bruh.
You talk about getting married to her. Getting married. She's 13.
Yeah, when she,
Huh?
when she was 18.
Whoa. What do you mean she's 18?
I meant when she was 18.
You were going to marry her when she turned 18. But you're just going to have sex with her from the ages of 13 to 18.
Honestly, a good thing to bring up. Is that
excited?
really what he thought was going to happen? Like, obviously, he is pulling that excuse out of his ass, right? The whole idea was like, oh yeah, I would marry her whenever she's 18. He would have given that exact same answer if it was like the whole conversation about them maybe having, sexual relationships. But not just that. Let's just also just mention the fact that he really thought that he could marry this girl. Like, oh man, it's just, I always hate to hear about it in To Catch a Predator because it's so common. Like, it is ridiculously common for a predator to go, hey, by the way, minor, I want to marry you, and essentially just take you away from your family. It is such a strange concept. I just...
To 18 now. Are you excited about me or my penis?
Jeez, man.
Did you bring anything else with you tonight?
Like what?
Like anything?
Like
No.
anything?
Food, alcohol.
Alcohol.
So just the bracelet and the condoms.
Only, right? Only, dog.
Nothing else.
Nothing more, nothing less, man. I mean, it just
What do you
goes
think ought
on
to
and
happen?
on and on.
Oh, here's a good one.
Oh, God.
Is Miss Vagina thinking about Mr. Penis? What is she thinking?
Christ, and I'm like, like, as much as it's nasty to hear Chris, honestly, Chris and Lorne say this, you have to admit that's a banger. No, I'm just kidding, but it's such an interesting thought to have because his brain cells bang together enough to formulate that thought. Like, what the hell led you to essentially going, hey, by the way, let's characterize there you go, our reproductive organs, man. Crazy. He's just crying at this point, man. It's so ridiculous. And Chris didn't mention the single thing, which is funny.
What do you think ought to happen?
What happened to you? Lorne Armstrong, Mr. Armstrong, speak to me.
Help me out.
Help me out. Should we bring you out back and
counseling
kill
and get
you?
off the internet.
You should go to counseling and get off the internet. Did you ever say to yourself, hey man, I got a problem here?
Hey, man. I got
No,
a
'cause I never
massive
thought I did.
problem.
You never thought you did.
He did. Come on, man.
Does
Definitely
this
had an issue.
incident make you think that perhaps you have a problem? What are you going to do about it?
I gotta do some things I can't do that. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well,
Well,
do you ever watch television much?
I gotta give another existential ass scenario. Like, it is crazy that all of us existed at this very time. Bear with me, right? That sounds so stupid, but listen to me. Like, whenever this was being filmed, back in the 2007 maybe? Because this was towards the end of To Catch a Predator. I'm not sure how long it stuck around. We'll probably find out whenever we read his TCAP Wiki. But the idea that maybe I was in bed, right? Like going to sleep, getting ready to go to school in the morning, right? You know what I mean? Then this was what I'm trying to say is that this happened, metaphysically, right? In the damn world at a certain point. This just wasn't just filmed, right? This existed. This moment in history happened. And there's nothing that is going to change that fact. like maybe someone was graduating from high school, or maybe someone was, I don't know, getting a promotion at the damn, neighboring Whataburger or whatever. And at that exact moment, right, Lorne Armstrong was getting caught by Chris Hansen. It's just an interesting thought. It's just like the idea, like right now, the 19th of June at 7:30, p.m. Chris is probably somewhere over there in like the northern hemisphere, maybe northeast area, right now, currently talking to a predator in a kitchen right now. Like, that's just such a crazy thought to have. Like, yeah, right now at this very moment, he's catching a predator right now. You get what I mean? Like, it's such an insane thought to have, but I guess it's just something that I'm just thinking about. Like, I don't think about that often, but whenever I do think about it, it's just something that's interesting to me, I guess.
Well,
Well,
do you ever watch television much?
no.
You ever watch a program called Dateline NBC? Well, there's something I got to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on evidence. You're free to walk out of this house right now.
Oh man, give me a second,
Now you're
right?
free to walk out of this house right now.
You could convince me that's damn Ron Knight, right? But there he is. I'm pretty sure it's him right there. Yeah.
But if there's anything else you want to say, now would be the time to say it.
He booked it, man. He booked it. He didn't attempt to say anything else too. He just kind of.
Sheriff's office, down! Get down! On the ground!
Look at Dale, man. There she is, right there. She's like, oh, I gotta take off, right?
Put your hands on your back!
He's taken to the local police station where his car is searched.
Lorne,
On Mr.
Lorne.
Armstrong's truck, we found some condoms, a variety pack, plus some jewelry.
Again, I just think that looks pretty bad. I don't like the people. Yes, they sell cheap jewelry, but to be honest, like, do people really wear that? I guess if there's any women in the damn comments, right, that told me, like, I don't know, maybe you hear about what happens to this type of jewelry, or maybe it's just very expensive jewelry, and I have no idea. I mean, I can barely see it through the pixels, but like the cheap jewelry that they sell, like at the mall or something, like. Does anyone really buy that kind of stuff, right? I don't know. Let me know.
And later, he's interviewed
There
by
he
law
is.
enforcement.
I believe you transmitted quite a few photographs. I'd like an attorney. All right, sir.
All right, sir. Okay, Lorne Armstrong was arrested during the Bowling Green, Kentucky sting on October 18, 2007. Yes, so I would have been 5 here. Armstrong pleaded guilty to one federal charge of traveling in interstate commerce for the purpose of engaging in a sexual act with a minor. On June 30th, 2008, Armstrong was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and a lifetime probation and registration as a sex offender. On August 18, 2008, Armstrong also pleaded guilty to one state charge of attempted unlawful transaction with a minor under the age of 16, first degree. He was sentenced to 7 years in state prison with 305 days credit for the time served. He had been in the county jail since his arrest. The two sentences ran concurrent to one another. And just to explain, right, by the way, I don't want to treat y'all like y'all have no idea what the hell this means, but for the people that might not know, obviously they run concurrent. So essentially, if, let's say he escapes one charge, he has the other one he has to serve anyway, which is a good thing. It's like essentially doubling down. So that if he ever does appeal one, maybe he does get away with one of them, but he still has the other one to serve anyway. Anyway, Armstrong was released on November 6, 2012. I would have been 10, man. I would have been 10 years old. In August of 2019, Armstrong was sentenced to 6 months in prison for violations of the terms and requirements of his parole. He had spent 5 years in the sex offender rehabilitation class. He was failing class because he refused to take any responsibility for his actions leading to his arrest. He had also been drinking alcohol on several occasions, which is a violation of his sex offender registration. He was released on February February of 2020, when it would have been like, that is insane. When it was my birthday, Lorne Armstrong got out in 2020. I would have been 18. I would have turned on a full ass adult, you know. And Lorne Armstrong got released from prison, man. On January 22nd, 2021, Armstrong had a conference call with his lawyer, probation officer, and sex offender counselor. They decided that Armstrong will remain a registered sex offender on probation. So I guess that's it. Thanks, Saul, again for this. Spending your life's most uncomfortable moment in the world's most comfortable chair. That is hilarious. I'll drop a like for you. Do you have any kids? No, fortunately. Everyone else. Actually, fortunately. It's definitely more funny once you realize Lorne had his feet reclined for the entire interview. That is very funny. Oh, here's a good one. Reads the most embarrassing line. You can see a guy go from giddy, over the moon ecstatic, thinking of all his fantasies are about to come true, to bawling his eyes out, humiliating, after getting roasted by Chris Hansen for 10 minutes and exposed as a child predator on national television before finally getting arrested. This clip is a gem. I come back to this often. This dude ruined his life on his birthday, and it was all filmed. Absolutely hilarious. Imagine giving birth to a child only for him to do something like this exactly 37 years later. Yeah, that is crazy. Let's see. TCAP Wiki, Lorne Armstrong. I mean, obviously, we all know who Lorne is. How long is this thing? Oh, Christ on a bike. Oh, man. Okay, well, let me take a swig of water for this one, man. It's going to be a long one. 2024 update. Wow, okay, sure. I'll definitely listen to that. I drank all of it, by the way. I should probably cut this out, but I'm easily going to forget, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put the cap on right. There we go. Okay, let's get to reading. So, let me set up for this one. Okay. So, Lorne Armstrong. Oh God, Armstrong's cry of despair after Chris Hansen reveals that he will be exposed on live TV. Whew. All that water. Lorne Lynn Armstrong. Sorry. Lorne _A_2 or 20014. Relatives: Mama Gwen, mother, Roy Armstrong, Ralph Armstrong, and Lori Armstrong. So his brother, and then sister Lori. Affiliations and occupations: electrical contractor / scammer, telephone salesman, construction worker, LOL operator, karaoke singer, truck driver, attempted YouTuber, garage salesman. The attempt at YouTube is a low blow, man. Because, you know, if you're not aware, by the way, Lorne Armstrong tried to be a YouTuber at a certain point. But the fans of TCAP bullied him off of the internet, which sucks, by the way. It would have been so funny if Lorne would have stuck around, you know, and still done his idiotic videos that no one would have watched ever. But it would have been fun to see and review for the channel. But anyway, he's unmarried. Date of birth: October 18, 1970. I forget he got caught on his birthday again. Cambridge, Maine, United States. He's male. He's 5'8". He's 187 pounds as of 2022. His eye color is blue and his hair color is brown. I guess a little he has of it. Lorne Lynn Armstrong is an online child sex predator who appeared in the Bowling Green, Kentucky episode of To Catch a Predator. One of the most notorious predators due to his constant activities and trolling by internet users. Armstrong is closely followed, documented, and often ironically quoted by the community. You know, speaking of closely followed internet users, to know, I was watching the okay, random tangent, but I know you guys love me enough to listen to me. I was watching, I might even just check it out again, but the comprehensive history of Chris Chan, It was such a like mind-boggling and just crazy thing that whenever I got to a certain point in the Chris Hansen documentary, that Lorne Armstrong got mentioned, and I was so confused, like I was so flabbergasted why Lorne Armstrong was featured on, like, I guess there was like a what is it called, a collaboration, a cross, what is it called, a cross collab? No, damn, I forgot what it's called. Regardless though, like between Lorne Armstrong and Christian, it's such a funny idea. But anyway, biography. Lorne Armstrong was born in Cambridge, Maine, and grew up there. He had siblings, including 2 brothers and sisters. Lorne graduated from high school in 1987 and still has the nickname 87 for the year. Lorne was arrested for a DUI shortly after graduation when he drove a van into a house. What? Lorne blamed his brothers for the crash and the arrest, saying he drove because he didn't want them to walk home. He also tried to downplay the charges against them, saying he was only a few sips over the limit. He lived in Indiana, but later moved at some point to Washington State. When Lorne lived in Washington State, where he got catfished by a woman who claimed to like him but was a scammer looking for money. Lorne figured this out by his sister going on the phone with the catfisher, and his sister figuring that she was fake. Lorne would eventually move back to Maine and live in a home rented by his brother's friends. Wow. He worked as an electrical contractor and allegedly scammed people with no qualifications. In one particular case, he scammed an elderly couple and told her to pay up from $30,000 for a $60,000 job. Jesus. Lorne, one of his brothers, and his brother's friend Tony would go to the elderly couple's house and do minimal work. Eventually, Lorne and the 2 others stopped showing up. This caused the wife of the elderly couple, Betty, to realize she got scammed. Betty went to the local district attorney, and the DA contacted Lorne telling him to pay, to which he agreed. However, instead of paying, Lorne fled to Nashville, Tennessee. He moved into a rundown apartment with his dog, Bud. Lorne named the dog after his favorite beer, Bud Light. It's not really that funny, but I guess, I don't know. The damn dog, okay? It's the damn dog, okay? Relax. I don't think Lorne is funny. I hate him, right? Who would have thought? But no. Anyway, Lorne slept on the floor since he had no furniture except the computer desk. He loved drinking and going to karaoke bars. Allegedly, he talked to underage girls and had real victims during this time period. What? Whoa. I had no idea that was the case. Wow. He had 2 jobs working as a call salesman and trying to get people to buy a ticket to Beatles cover band, but got fired shortly after. He also worked as a construction worker building a gym for a church. Coincidentally, he got the job only days before the sting, after getting fired from his other job. Chat log. Soon after moving to Nashville, Tennessee, from Cambridge, ME, I feel like I should know this. Maine, I guess. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Maine. Lorne began chatting online with the Pereira Justice Decoy, who used the screen name Kayla Princess 94 to pose as a 13-year-old girl named Kayla. At first, Lorne portrayed himself as a protector, telling Kayla, "If nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age." This facade began to slip when Lorne realized that Kayla had never been taught the dangers of the online world. Told Kayla that there were a lot of weirdos on the internet. Lorne then asked Kayla if she had had any previous relationships. They discussed the details of the relationship and her intimate experience with her last boyfriend. Lorne is shocked to learn that she did not do anything else with her boyfriend, saying, "Because some kids your age have done a lot more than that." Lorne explained to Kayla that he loves her innocence and how she is ignorant on the topic of sex. Lorne steers the conversations towards what Kayla knows about, detailing the anatomy of males and females. Lorne allows himself to divulge into sexual intercourse and what occurs during intercourse or what he thinks goes on. Lorne leads the Decoy to violate herself in what he calls experimenting among other topics. Within 2 hours of meeting the 13-year-old Decoy, Lorne continued to chat with the decoy for over a month, detailing his plans to abduct and... What? What? Lorne continued to chat with the decoy for over a month. Okay. I get what's happening, but geez, I was just so confused. Taking her from her home in Bowling Green, Kentucky, to his apartment in Nashville. During this month, Lorne became extremely possessive of the decoy, becoming jealous of family friends, especially her ex-boyfriend, Derek, who was frequently intimidated by the adolescent. What? The agenda Lorne set in place persisted throughout the 407 pages of the chat log, frequently creating wacky and memorable phrases and situations. One of these situations, included within the airing of the sting, consists of Lorne naming and personifying his genitalia, Mr. Penis, as well as the decoy's Mrs. Vagina. Lorne would also use his webcam to expose himself and put on a show for the decoy, often making comments in correlation. Notable throughout the chat log is Lorne's lack of knowledge about sex. For all of this, the chat log contains extensive grooming practices and sickening undermining of the decoy and her parents. Phone calls between Lorne Armstrong and the decoy exist and are available for listening via online media such as YouTube. Sorry, I gotta cut in real quick. I just had that moment again, and it feels like you can make a damn compilation of me saying this, but I just had that moment again whenever I realize that I'm talking to myself, talking to just me, essentially, in a room by myself. Wouldn't that be it'd be insanity, like genuine insanity, if I was actually just sitting in my room with no microphone, talking to myself. Because, in the physical world, that's all I'm doing. I don't have an audience in front of me. I'm talking to myself in my room, in my dark room, talking to myself. And it's so funny because there are some times whenever the videos don't record my audio, right, or whatever. In theory, I did talk to myself for the past 50 minutes, right? It's such a crazy idea. I like to share it with you guys. I don't know. But anyway, Lorne finally arrived. Okay, this is the sting part. Decoy interaction. Lorne finally arrived at the sting house on his 37th birthday, and he was very calm and happy when he met the decoy Casey Morrow. In a later interview, Casey said she felt relaxed while talking to him since he was so friendly and inviting. Casey told him to sit on the massage chair with a heater. After he took a seat on an easy chair, Casey asked him what he wanted to do with her, and Lorne said he wanted a kiss from her to kick off the night. She said no, and said, "You just got here." She then asked Lorne if he had brought condoms, which he said he had, and that they were in his car. Lorne then actually said that they were in his truck. By the way, TCAP Wiki, you better fix that, right? Lorne then told Casey he thought she had blonde hair, since the decoy pervert just as used, the pervert just as decoy was blonde. The Hansen interview. Then Chris Hansen entered the room and confronted Lorne, taking a seat on the opposite chair, and spent the next 10 minutes grilling him. Hansen then read the chat log and quoted many lines Lorne had sent the decoy. Is Miss Vagina thinking about Mr. Penis? What is she thinking? Lorne visibly became more stressed and depressed as the conversation went on. He would try to blame his behavior on a previous catfishing relationship with a woman he knew as Amanda James. Eventually, Hansen revealed that he was part of a dateline investigation. Lorne then uttered a cry of defeat, "Oh God!" and was arrested shortly after leaving the house. Yeah. So look at the man of the hour, right? Look at him, man. Anyway, police interrogation. During his police interview, despite knowing he had incriminating evidence in his truck and on his computer, he gave the police consent to seize both. Only after being shown his nude cam shots did he request a lawyer, but it was too late. After his interview, the detective in charge of the Armstrong interview came in and proclaimed, "He's toast," to the other detective. Lorne would end up being charged with interstate travel with the intent of sex with a minor, attempted sexual contact with a minor, and try to produce child. Police recovered a camera from his truck. Okay. On the advice of his attorney, Because he was facing a 20-year sentence, he took a plea deal. He was sentenced to 7 years on the state and federal level to be served concurrently, of which he served 5 and was given a lifetime probation and RSO status. Afterwards, he returned to his home state in Maine. Attempted YouTuber. In 2017, Lorne believed himself to be a celebrity due to the attention he received from his appearance on Dateline. Tried to cash in on his fame, or infamy, by starting a YouTube channel where he would sing, do workouts, cook vegan dishes, and try to sell paraphernalia from before and during his prison stay under the intermittently I cannot say that word, I'm sorry. Intermittently used title The Lorne Reality Show. These videos would be massively downvoted, and many of the comments would be statements he said in his 407-page chat log. Though he wouldn't recognize they were using his words to throw back at him, he tried to sell a shirt of a still of him from TCAP for $40 with the phrase, "Don't yell at me, I'm sensitive," which is rephrasing of his infamous, "Well, yell at me, why don't ya?" The legality of selling such a t-shirt was suspect at best, considering he was using an image from the show, which would not only be a copyright issue, but a possible violation of the Son of Sam law, which prohibits criminals from making money from their crimes. That said, he only sold one shirt and never shipped it. Like, it's just not, like, man, just ship the damn shirt, man. You know, I would hate to be the person who didn't get the damn t-shirt, but it is what it is. Anyway, after being sent a direct message from a YouTube user named Artsy Tiger, letting him know that all of his supporters were making fun of him, he went on YouTube to make what would end up being his final video entitled "Important Message," in which he addressed the DM and asked the commenters, the same people trolling him, if he should continue or stop making videos. Lorne would stop making videos but leave the channel open and publicly available. During one of the live streams of his calls to Ramona, Lorne was swatted by local police, where he was discovered intoxicated and in the nude. This will lead to daily breathalyzer tests. Lorne's YouTube career ended when he was arrested for parole violations in the autumn of 2019 and failed to pay the subscription to his web monitoring software. Under these conditions, Lorne was not allowed to have access to the internet. Alright, the second arrest. Lorne was arrested again in August 2019 after spending 5 years in a sex offender rehabilitation class and not passing because he still refused to take any responsibility for his actions, leading to his imprisonment. He also showed up to the class drunk, despite one of the provisions of sex offender registration being the prohibition of the consumption of alcohol. That being said, he has had 5 alcohol violations in his record since 2014. Lorne was sentenced to 6 months in jail for this and was released in February 2020, I guess. Novel and current life. While Lorne was in prison, he wrote a novel named Taken Abroad about a war veteran whose PTSD caused him to murder a woman, to murder women, just flat out, I guess. A video emerged in May 2021 of Lorne selling items at a garage sale. In the video, people outside of the shop can be heard saying quotes from his chat log. Whether they are locals or his stalkers is unknown. The following year, more videos of the annual event, the 10-mile yard sale, began to appear. Wait, hold on. I just kind of skimmed through that. The following year, more videos of the annual event, the 10-mile yard sale, began to appear, with Lorne answering questions posed by a visitor and being informed of the current happenings of the Lorneography community. People still visit the trailer under the guise of buying from Lorne, filming and posting their interactions with him without his knowledge. In January 2023, images of the Church of God point of interest on Google Maps showed his trailer in a state of despair, along with a shipping container and front loader in the yard, suggesting that Lorne no longer resides there. However, his updated RSO information in May 2023 still lists his address as the trailer, and a new image on Google Maps showed it was in much better condition than in January, with several cars parked outside. However, as of May, the property appears to be in severe disrepair. It is unknown if this is because Lorne is still renovating the property, continuing his junk sales, or simply leaving it to fall apart. As of 2024, Lorne's address has been actively blocked from Google Maps, with the area of his trailer blurred out. Wow. Is it possible to have your address blurred out? 2024 update. As part of his the podcast series as well. As part of his Predators I've Caught podcast, Chris Hansen promised to release the long-awaited Lorne Armstrong podcast. There will be several long podcasts dubbed the Lorne Chronicles, featured many guests, including Joey from Joey's TCAP channel, and Tiffany, a Lorneographer at the end. Tiffany. At the end of the first episode, Hansen claimed he would travel to Lorne's house in Maine and see if he would talk to him that week. Chris promised he would keep us updated on what would happen in the next podcast. In the fourth part of focusing on Armstrong, Hansen revealed that a couple in Canada had been assisting Armstrong in laying low, such as changing his number and avoiding interactions with the TCAP community. Lorne claimed in a plea to revoke his parole that he had impregnated a woman from Canada and wanted to move there to be with her. Although the exact details regarding his relationship with the Canadians remains unclear, Hansen also revealed some more disturbing details about Lorne failing his sex offender therapy classes, such as admitting to being aroused by a 9-year-old girl in a short skirt singing the national anthem on television. What the? What? You know what? Allow me. What the fuck, man? Such as admitting to being aroused by a 9-year-old girl in a short skirt singing the national anthem on television. Are you out your mind? Like, how the hell do you come to that conclusion? And why would you, number one, remember that. Number two, tell people that. Like, yes, you're in, sex offender therapy, right? Let's just say, your therapist is one of the best in the business, right? And just allows you to talk as much as you want. Or at least gets you talking. What the hell is happening? Also, according to Chris Hansen, any job Lorne lost was throughout his own poor performance, not fans having him fired. Really? Okay, well, quotes, I don't really care about that. Lorne has a heavy New England accent, commonly made fun of when people quote him. For example, instead of saying not a whole lot, they say not a whole lot. And instead of saying oh God, they say oh God. Despite wearing a Boston Red Sox cap to the house, Lorne admits he doesn't even watch baseball. He refers to his genitals as Mr. Penis and a Decoy's genitals as Miss Vagina. Lorne's chat is infamous for being one of the longest ever in the history of TCAP. In total, 15,971 messages were exchanged. The Decoy has sent 7,385 messages, while Lorne had sent 8,586 messages, which is about 16% difference between the number of messages sent. 82,889 words were exchanged within these messages, with a Decoy providing 22,287 words, while Lorne contributed 60,602 words. This is almost 272 difference between the words exchanged. Crazy, huh? She sent 22.2k words. He sent 60.6k words, which is again almost a double, like a triple of what she said. Wow, that's insane knowledge. I don't assume they counted, like one person counted all of this. It was probably done by machine, but to be honest, knowing TCAP fans, someone probably counted like each and every single line and word or whatever. But anyway, he has swindled an elderly couple out of approximately $30,000. He would be taken to task by the TCAP community and promised to pay them back on his YouTube channel. He had paid back less than $100 during his last video. Ironically, Ironically, this will lead to one of Lorne's most prominent critics, Nathaniel Trevor, taking out a fundraiser in the couple's name, raising $5,000. Nathan would keep the money for himself, however, leading to one of his detractors, Honky McGee, exposing numerous scams he had implemented on the internet. He would also threaten to dox Trevor if he didn't leave the internet, which Trevor did. What the hell? Like, what is genuinely happening? So a guy was like, guys, you know what? Let's raise money for this couple, just for this couple to be scammed again. Like, I guess technically they didn't get scammed, but everyone else did. But it's still a lot of scams happening, man. Stay vigilant out there, please. Has a general dislike for males, as he considers them competition for the women or girls he wants in life. He has shown jealousy many times during his chats and phone calls, getting angry when a female he likes has any other man in her life. During his chats with Kayla, he didn't even want her father to come to the hospital if they had a child, and gave no thought to having male children. Christ, this guy is crazy. The Church of Cod is a mock religious group based on Lorne, which takes all of his crimes and character flaws and satirically pokes fun at them under the guise of worship. They even had their Bible, known as the Holy Lornography, a 407-page chat. Some have taken their mockery of Armstrong to the point of obsession, and had even showed up at his trailer in Cornville, Maine, to harass him and go to Yelp pages of where he works to place fake reviews. Lorne claimed this had him fired at least once from a milk hauling business he worked for. Despite being over 50 years old, and through his admissions to Chris Hansen, Lorne had never had a real girlfriend, as every girl he's ever had a relationship with, both pre and post TCAP, has been long distance catfishes. Oh my god. What a sad life, man. I swear to God. But it is, I mean, what do you expect? I guess. In 2012, Lorne tried suing NBC for $40 million and tried going through the appellate court of Kentucky to get his conviction overturned due to what he perceived as poor counsel from his public defender, including relief money. Both were thrown out. Wrote a letter to get the judge presiding over his case to make the bracelet. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. God, it's something. I'm gonna go on a tangent. It's crazy to think that back in the day, whenever I was new to this kind of stuff, it was very easy for me to lose my voice. Like, I just came from watching the Bethpage Long Island entire video and watching it for a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I did not lose my voice at all. It just goes to show, man, that, you know, that throughout the years, man, my throat game has gotten stronger, man. Oh god, man, that's what I take away from it. That's crazy. But no, it's just a crazy thought, because I'm like, oh, I'm yawning because I'm speaking too much and I'm not breathing. But yeah, it's crazy to think that back then I would come out of like a 20, 30, maybe 40 minute long recording with me losing my voice. Crazy. Anyway, okay, yeah, okay. To get his conviction overturned due to what he perceived as poor counsel from his... Okay, yeah. Wrote a letter to the judge proceeding over his case to make the bracelet he brought inadmissible as evidence because, in his words, it was crap, as well as the condom saying he had them because he sang at karaoke bars. Ramona has said that she made her character a black woman to see if Lorne was racist, but he showed no inklings towards that. He even saying his mother approved of her. He would, however, use the N-word repeatedly in future catfishing calls. What? Oh, okay. I'm seeing what's happening here. So, yes, okay. The character, yes. See if Lorne was racist. But he would, however, use the N-word repeatedly in future catfishing calls, perhaps due to Ramona breaking up with him. Interesting. During an interview with Joey's TCAP channel, Lorne revealed that out of all the predators in the Kentucky sting, John Elliott creeped him out the most. He reasoned that John's smile was unnerving, given the context of the situation. He would also say that during his interactions with James Travis Fowler, he would act catatonic. Lorne's interactions with James Fowler? Or is he saying Chris's interactions? Because if Lorne had an interaction with like James Travis Fowler, that would be a crazy idea. Because like we know Mr. Fowler, an absolute creep. If you haven't seen him, maybe I'll redo him at a certain point, but his segment is creepy. Like, that guy was on something. I have no idea what was wrong with him, but Lorne's full uncut video, which came from himself, is available on YouTube. He was catfished by a show fan and thought it would show a much better version of the story. Also included in the tape was James Travis Fowler's interview, which is also on YouTube. Both have been preserved on archive.org. Okay, I just pressed that by accident. I guess I'm just promoting. He's a pretty prolific chatter there. Oh man, look at this guy, right, man. I definitely want to do another deep dive on him. I feel like whenever the 4th episode does come around for deep dives, I'll probably do him as like a rewatch. But anyway, that's where we're gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for checking out the channel, or I guess checking out the video, and hopefully you check out the channel as well. I mean, if you got to this point, I mean, I feel like you would enjoy listening to my other stuff. I'm definitely a lot more calmer now. I feel a lot better though. But hold on, this video seems interesting. I guess I'll click it since I'm not gonna watch, Lorne again. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably watch this. I don't know. Do I have time? Yeah, maybe I'll do it. I'll probably walk around a little bit before I do that. I'm not oh, okay, wait. Okay. Well, it says subscribe because what the hell? Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, check out the channel. Subscribe, leave a like as well. And I'll catch you some other time. Goodbye.